Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the 11th Ornament Adventures. My name is Sid, I'm the Dungeon Master, and I'm going to take you guys through a brief recap of what happened last episode so that you can stay up to date and know what's going on as we jump into a brand new story arc for this incredible team of adventurers. So previously, on the 11th Ornament, the party had come to save one of the characters' family, who had been enslaved by a vicious and cruel tyrant over the island of Snowdown in the Moonshay Islands. Having come to the island, however, they discovered quickly that she, in her cruelty and mismanagement of her rule over the past couple of decades, had made quite a large number of enemies and had desperately reached for a very dangerous source of magic and power in order to overcome um, her shortfalls. Um, so, as the party encountered her, fought her, defeated her, freed Obe's family, reclaimed the powerful artifact that she had wrested from deep beneath the palace in the ancient druidic ruins. Um, they returned that artifact to where it belonged. Little do they know that by returning that artifact, they were reuniting two pieces of an even more ancient and divine piece of equipment that had been left behind by a titan that had been banished from this plane at the dawn of time. As they reunited those pieces, an aspect of the Titan himself began to emerge from the earth. All the while, the city they're in is being ransacked by these massive trebuchets that the party has to begin to deal with. They're soaring across the city rooftops and trying to rescue as many people as possible. They've got a druid who can cast a spell that summons these giant owls that they can ride upon and direct, get around quickly. But all the while they're maneuvering through the air, they're having to dodge these munitions that are just being flung at the city and decimating it. Um, Meanwhile, this titanic creature continues to rise up out from the palace foundations. Massive, 300 feet across antler horns erupt from the earth, followed by a very large titanic being, larger than any giant they'd seen. Um, it began to rip and pull itself up out of the earth. They fled the city, going to stop the trebuchets. They did combat with the operators of the catapults and eventually brought them to heel. But looking back at the city, realizing the sheer mass of this creature that is ripping itself up out of the earth, and that they, being completely tapped from the battles that they've done all day, don't have the resources to even begin considering fighting this creature. They choose to retreat with their druidic allies, summoning forth, again, giant birds, this time herons, that allows them to skim across the marshlands back to one of the druid groves, which I'll show you where that is on the map here in just a minute when we launch the game table, in order to recuperate, recover, and decide what to do next. It was recently discovered in this past session too that one of the characters who has been with the party for a very long time, the Turtle Druid Obe, will be taking a step back as a player character and assuming a role as an NPC, staying here on Snowdown now that his family is safe and this island is in great need of a druidic presence. Jerry, the fantastic individual who had been playing Obe, is taking over a new NPC that has been with the party for a short time, so that's exciting news. We are going to introduce the characters to the best of our ability here in just a minute, in case you missed the first two episodes. We are missing a couple of our players at this time. Cameron unfortunately got stuck in Miami because his flight was something, and so we won't have Dorn, uh, our undercover noble, for tonight. So I'll have to pilot him. But we should have our changeling bard rogue, with us any minute now. But I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the game map, invite the players in, and do some quick introductions to the characters. Make sure they don't have any questions about the recap for last week. So be right back with you guys in a couple minutes. I really have got to get better at that. I've just been like giving so much expose into a muted mic. My party members are going to get really tired of hearing everything twice. So, previously, um, as I was mentioning, behind me is the map of the Moonshae Islands. Very strategic and important set of islands off of the Sword Coast. There are a number of military and political factors that have high interest in these islands, but our adventure is taking place currently on Snowdown, and specifically around the capital city of Care Westfall, just thusly. So, since now Skype has decided that Jerry is the active speaker, we will start with the most recent addition to the party, introducing characters one more time for us before we jump in. Alucard Eversoul. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm playing Alucard Eversoul, a person who kind of rolls to the beat of his own drum, and is largely staying with the group because it keeps him out of trouble.
Fair enough. Vale.
Oh. Hello. I'm Will. I'm playing Vale. I originally started as a Tabaxi cleric, but I was reincarnated as a gnome after I had an unfortunate death. And been with the party since its founding, and that's why I'm with the party, I guess. We're trying to stop this crazy thing that's happening.
Iken.
Hello. Iken is a human who also cohabitates his body with an Oni, Asian-inspired demon. He was also around at the founding of the party, and after a life of primarily slavery and gladiatorial exploits, found himself surrounded by people who are generally good, and is learning what that means, and how to kind of take inspiration from them, but also is one of the voices of sometimes you have to do what you have to do, which is going to be very interesting as we fight a Titan.
Excellent. And the most recent member of, well, competing for the spot from the first member of the 11th Ornament, AJ.
Hello, everyone. I'm AJ. I play Tor. He's a fucking boy. He likes to hit shit, and he throws magic. Is pretty cool. He's really inefficient and very unoptimized, but he's super cool and fun to play, and he likes to fight shit, so that's pretty cool.
Excellent. Two more party members with us right now. As I mentioned, who is a changeling. He actually represents three different personalities that are not all entirely aware of one another. He'll be with us shortly. I believe right now he is manifest as Belle, who is a beautiful young woman and is a rogue. Although mechanically she can access the bard features of her twin and other counterpart Mathis's. And then the last member of our party is Dorn, who had until very recently gone by the pseudonym Gorstag. He's actually a noble from a very well-known family, had been traveling incognito. She's doing some soul searching since he lost his brother. But he is a fighter, and yeah, that's that. So, previously, right at the end of the session last time, the party had downed the trebuchets. Obe had made an interesting deal with the Earl King, which allowed him to recover his last family member that was unaccounted for, and then assessing the situation against the Titan, the party decided that they were not in any fit state to take the creature on, and therefore decided to travel by giant Heronback to this druid grove here, nested in the very young forest past Harlock. It's mentioned previously that the whole island has been mismanaged and overworked for resources, so this forest has been entirely deforested at some point and is just beginning to regrow. But there is a decrepit druid grove here that is there are attempts being made to recover that. So as the druids regroup, we're going to actually skip at the travel montage and jump straight to the party landing amidst these giant Stonehenge-like standing stones.
You are very muted for us.
Mason is?
If you look at Skype, you're muted.
Who?
I don't know what it's like anywhere else.
Who's
Yeah.
muted? I'm muted? This is quality production, guys. We're professionals.
I don't know. Can you unmute yourself?
Me? Am I muted?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Oh.
You were the only Sid that we know, I think.
Oh. Hey, so the stream heard all that. But you guys are just in the dark. I can't. Sorry guys, we've actually just recently switched video recording and conferencing software to try and make the stream a bit better quality with the translucency and stuff. So please forgive all of the technical difficulties. At least you guys heard all that, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So, as the party travels back from the ruins of the Trebuchet Towers atop Heronback to the desolate remains of the Druid Grove to the north of Harlock, that's where we're going to pick up as the Druids that you're traveling with and all of you on these giant herons begin to circle and descend and come down to land. Within these giant Stonehenge-like circles at the base here. There's not much forest to speak of, as I was telling the stream, but apparently I was muted for you guys strictly. The forest has been deforested, and so all the trees around here are young volunteers, nothing planted, and so it's like saplings and some taller pines because pine trees grow so quickly, but it's a very strange kind of sight. So.
Okay.
I'm-
Land. Who all is already? Are the druids already here?
Yes, you all arrive together.
I'm gonna land and start as soon as I do, making a clearing and calling for Dorn to come and lay his ass right down because he has some major issues that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, so as you land, this was once a druid's grove. There's these kind of almost hobbit-like hills that go into the sides of the mountains and places, but many of them seem collapsed. Where normally you would expect it to be kept clear of debris, there's fallen leaves for about 2 or 3 years worth of just inches of fallen leaves and pine needles everywhere, and these kind of volunteer saplings coming up through the brush. But you kind of like get down and start ripping trees out of the way to create a spot where Dorn can lie down. Dorn looks over. He seems to be feeling fine. Perhaps it's just the adrenaline and the cold night air that's been rushing across his skin as you all flew quite quickly over the land. It is now, however, around 2 a.m. You did travel quickly, but it still was some distance away from Caer Westfall. But looking over at Dorn, you can see, as you mentioned, where he was stricken by this divine artifact previously in the battle against Eliza. Rather than having congealed blood or bruising or even yellowing like infection, these almost like rock candy mineral, slightly blue tinged crystals are just forming first at a tiny molecular level at the base, almost like powdered snow it looks like, but then larger crystals kind of erupting here and there from the wound, all up and down, keeping it from closing, and in fact pushing the flesh further apart as they expand. Not at a noticeable rate, but when you look away and look back an hour later, you can see that they have grown. He looks over. Oh, yes, quite. I suppose that should be looked at. He goes down and sits down cross-legged with his sword across his lap. Will, we can only see from your nose up.
That's because I'm short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, go ahead. Also,
Uh,
this is what I was trying to show you guys earlier.
oh, nice.
Yeah, my dad got me that.
Let me look. I don't really have any abilities to use anyway, so I don't know why I'm looking at my character sheet too much.
Yeah, you guys are pretty tapped.
Yeah. So yeah, I will. Just go about like laying down and cleaning it the best I can. I am going to use holy water, which I assume is also purified in some degree, so it's clean. I'm going to use a
That's a bold
flask of
assumption.
holy water to
Yeah,
it is
sure.
it's at least water.
Yes,
It is not worse than water, so
yes, that's true.
I'll go about I'll use one of the flasks that I've acquired over time that I didn't realize how many I had. And begin cleaning that and tending to that as well. But I don't have anything I can majorly do until tomorrow, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, go ahead and make a medicine check for me. With your skills.
17.
17. Okay. You quickly discern as you wash the wound of blood that the crystals are growing from the slash wound, as you suspected, but they're kind of coming from underneath, just immediately epidural, immediately underneath the skin, epidermis, and they're kind of growing outward. So almost grafted to the bottom of the skin. As you wash it away with water, I mean, this is mineral growing out of thin air, like quartz almost. Like you can wash it clean, but you don't feel like you can put a compress on the wound. So you'll just be pushing these crystal growths into one another.
I have a terrible idea.
Yeah, just amputate his chest.
No, well, no, not amputate, but
Don't like that.
but burning things. How would that
In the meantime,
potentially?
while
No,
you're making-
that's the question that I have.
Yeah, okay. But in the meantime, while you're
Okay.
making this initial assessment, looking over Dorn, he's walking over and kind of like grumpily sitting down, letting you examine the wound. He's trying not to acknowledge it. Everyone else, you also land in this derelict Druid's Grove, several miles away from the. Actually, it's this many miles.
Less than 10. Wait.
Yeah. I can't actually get smaller than. I can't actually do the not. Don't snap. Don't snap to grid. Why are you snapping to the grid?
Can't stop me.
Can't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. We'll say it's about 10 miles. Honestly. About 20
Oh,
miles.
sorry. Yeah, I missed where the actual dot was because of the line.
Yeah. Dot's down here, and then the Druid Grove's kind of on the north side of this hex. So they're actually in the similar spot on the hex. So they're a whole. If you count center to center here is 20 miles, it's the same offset. So 20 miles away. It's pretty pretty decent distance. Ah, and there's Bell. Bell right now?
It's Bell.
Bell. Guessed correctly.
So
Um,
where are we?
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, so the rest of the party, you have all just arrived at this Druid's Grove right here. Traveling on Heron back via Graffy, who was able to cast the giant heron summoning spell that Obe is so famous for, and get you all to safety. A legion? A siege of herons. Siege of herons. So you have all reached relative safety, you assume. You can no longer hear the screaming from the town of Caer Westfall, so that's nice. But immediately as you land, Vale and Dorn rush over. Vale rushes Dorn over to a cleared spot to begin conducting healing and trying to figure out what's going on. He doesn't have any real magical abilities with which to do that, but he did assess sort of what's going on. And you do realize too, Will, that it's probably only been 20 miles. Hold on. Let me reassess what time it is. It's probably 11 p.m. You guys were at the ball at 7:30. Everything transpired. And then the travel to the Druid's Grove, we're going to say it's been about 4 hours. So it's only about 11 o'clock at night. And these crystals have already grown. Some of them at the largest are perhaps an inch cubed. So, you might be concerned about what this would do leaving it.
Hold on. It could be the
Overnight.
case that Bell has a thing.
Okay. But as you all land, Alucardi, Ken, Bell, you land with your troop of druids as well. Esvel is here. Obe's family is here. Obe is here as well with his sister Boo, and the rest of their family, obviously. So the whole kind of group that has escaped from beneath the palace, including Elaine and Merle, the couriers from the island to the north, who had been dragged into this conflict, are all escaped from Caer Westfall. Oh, and the young boy Eric, whom you managed to rescue from
He's
the
got to
city.
be knocked out right now, right?
He fell asleep on the heron ride.
Are there tents? So this isn't where the druids came from. They came from the. Are there like tents or anything around?
Nothing of the sort. This was a druid's grove, maybe decades ago, before Eliza banished all the druids from Snowdown. The druids.
Tents.
Yeah,
the-
I was about
yeah.
to say Ken will start setting up.
The druids just came back to Snowdown at your behest, at your request, like at the beginning of this siege.
I
So
I didn't know because they had come from, but they came from the bathhouse.
they did. They came from the onsen in the woods.
Yeah. Eken will hand Eric to. Actually, Iken's going to walk up to Obe's mother.
Okay.
And say, this child has probably just lost his family. And while I do not know that for certain, I'm sure that he could use the embrace of a mother. So he kind of just lifts him into her arms.
As you pass him over, he kind of like stirs and awakens a little bit and looks up at Obe's mother.
No, it's
What?
You said It's just we got and in the same part.
Not anymore. Looks up at Obe's mom and kind of just startled for a moment, but then is too tired to care, and she like pulls him in closer and carries him over to where she and her clan are consoling one another, having a celebratory rejoining as their brother has been returned from across the sea, and he is taken care of. He actually falls back asleep as you begin to set up tents and things from your gear. Many of the druids begin to build makeshift lean-tos and structures and the like. As you're all kind of settling down.
Let me know when we're all about to bed down. There's something I want to do before we go to sleep, but I'll just kind of help with camp.
Okay.
I,
Alucard? Oh, sorry. Tour?
I'm gonna use one of those features that I have.
Sure. That's great.
That comes from my Celestial Warlock thing. Where I get to heal things.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it exists. I promise. It
You get
exists.
Give a d6, I think.
I think he has like a pool of d6s.
Yeah, that is correct.
But it's probably very small because
Yeah, it is not a
He's-
lot. It's probably
he's-
based off of Warlock level.
V
It is
small
definitely
warlock.
based off of Warlock level. And the specific feature you're describing is called Healing Light. You have a pool of d6s that you
there it is.
spend to fuel this healing. The number of dice in this pool equals 1 plus your Warlock level. As a bonus action, you can heal one creature you can see within 60 feet of you, spending dice from the pool. The maximum number of dice you can spend at once equals your Charisma modifier. Roll the dice you spend, add them together, restore a number of hit points equal to the total.
I am using. I know for a fact that if I have used this, I have only used it once, and I did not use all of it. I don't think I've used it though.
I don't think you've used it at all.
I
I think you tried to and couldn't for whatever
Yeah.
or tried to and then decided
was-
you didn't want to.
I was thinking very hard about using it. I think during the fight that I came into, beginning of not last session, the one before. But yeah, I'm gonna use one of those 2d6 on Dorn. Just I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm just gonna do it. Like, let it be what it is. Like,
Okay. Go ahead and roll the d6 for me.
d6. Where's the chat? Did I do it? Oh. Sorry, I'm holding a cat.
Why is Tor holding a cat?
You get 3 hit points, Dorn.
Because he's a beast barbarian.
I am a beast barbarian. As you see,
He is a
this
beast.
is my beast.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I know.
It's so sleepy. Look at it.
Don't wake the beast.
Are we doing campfire things now? Is that what we're doing?
In a moment.
Okay.
I will let you know. As Tour just kind of looks out and sends a bit of Earl King energy at Dorn. Dorn flinches a little bit, and the scar down his chest ignites in green, heatless fire. It doesn't seem to burn him. It just, and it runs up his chest along the wound like a flame along a matchstick. And when it has dissipated, Dorn has regained a small number of hit points, and the crystals seem to have been made more brittle by the magical flame, specifically by the healing. And as Dorn reaches up to make sure to see what's going on, he's able to brush away some of the crystals. They just kind of dissolve into dust. He brushes them off himself, and this kind of sparkling sand falls all over the mildewy leaves that carpet the flower of the forest. The crystals are still along the wound, but they appear to have been mildly abated in their progression to effectively rip him apart by the magical healing.
Realizing there's probably a difference between that fire and what I will be using, I will still light and just hold it too, and just see how the crystals react to regular fire. as
Pretty
well,
flame.
just- yeah.
Okay. As you do so in your hand,
Oh,
hold it up.
and as I hold it up, I wait, hold on, and I shuffle through the bag of holding and pull out the bottle of whiskey that we have. That I have no idea how many uses because we never really got an actual number on
The
that.
Dwarven Firebrand whiskey.
Mirror
yes.
bar, yeah, Mirror bar Firebrand whiskey.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. It's a good time for a drink anyway.
And I'll
Alucard just stares.
Dorn, seeing your expression, offers it to you. Alucard?
No, not a good idea.
No. Are you sure? Are you feeling alright?
I am not feeling okay. I'm not fine, but it would not be a good idea for you to give me that.
To be fair, it's also probably the most expensive liquor I've ever seen.
Why do you choose to tip me further, Vale?
Oh, it's magical. Like, it has effects like that. Do you want to do you want me to throw fire at you? That's what's going to help you with?
No.
I didn't think so. And I ignite my hand and
Okay.
do my test.
Alright. Roll damage.
It's a D8, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cantrip. You're level 11. So it's 3d.
Oh no. But no, but I'm not. I'm not. It is not a cleric cantrip, so it's not 3d8 plus 1d8. It is 3d8 though.
Uh-huh. To which Dorn has resistance due to the whiskey. Let me put him up to the hit points he got from Doopy Doop. Oh, and then minus all of those.
Yep.
Oh no, just some of them. Just some of them. You can see the skin begin to blister a little bit around the crystals. And with that, you just kind of begin to feel queasy and you pull away. But you do see some minor cracks in the crystal structure. It seems to be susceptible to magic.
If
But
anything, I was trying to damage the skin. I was realistically trying to cause the skin to have problems underneath it so it couldn't form there. So that was...
You did blister. You basically cooked the skin along the wound. It smells like ham.
That was kind of my goal, and you're right that I did hate it, but that was realistically what I thought would be most sealing.
Yeah.
With this was to kind of cauterize the skin underneath.
Yep, that still hurts even with the whiskey.
Yeah, I'll do what I can tomorrow, but I'll watch you as much as we'll have you watched every night. But you should rest.
Yeah. Normally I charge for that. All right.
You.
Joke.
Okay.
Joking.
Yeah, no. I'm just. You charge for this one.
And he walks over to what is now being constructed as a fairly large-sized campfire around which everyone is gathering, thanks to Iken and some of the druids who've been working on that for a little while. As you all make your way over, one of the druids pulls out a lute, begins to just kind of pluck. He's not terrible. He's not a performer of any kind, and it's just kind of very basic. You can tell the lute is tuned like it only has 3 strings, and he can only play like these 3 songs. But they're mostly in tune and in time.
Bell will probably join. Can't help it.
Yeah. You begin absolutely plucking circle counter melodies around his tune. Trills and frills around it.
Yep, that's correct. Not in an ostentatious way, just in a this is.
No,
this is
like
how I
you're
roll.
very much the harmony, but you're like in the background. Um, yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about?
Is this
Come to
the
the table.
campfire time?
Yes.
I would like to pull out the necklace that I got from Eliza's room. And I believe I got something from her body as well, but
Maybe
I don't
so.
have that. I don't have that written in my notes.
Yeah, if it's
But I
not in
would-
your notes, it doesn't exist.
We did
Okay.
get her head.
Okay, but I would like to.
No. You did get you got some gold from her body and a tattoo that had been just a magical tattoo that you removed from her skin with the spell magic and
that's
distilled
right.
into a needle.
I would just like to spend some time while everyone's doing their thing, ritual casting the identify spell on those two items.
Okay. Excellent. What is everyone else doing? What did you do, Rick?
So, no one's brought it up yet, but the obvious elephant in the room is
What's an elephant?
what do we...
The obvious colossal in the room.
Yes. I guess we could just you could say the Titan in the room because that's exactly what I'm talking about. But so what are we going to do exactly about that?
Well, we are less than capable right now of handling something of that magnitude. I would love to have as much confidence, naivety, as we did when we first made our way towards the tomb. But we face something that the gods saw as too imposing to keep on this plane. I don't know what to do about that. I suppose we could use friends.
You have a lot of those.
No.
No.
I have a lot of people who would love to help, but don't know how much help they'd be.
Are your parents, are your people on the way here right now?
I think that the messenger didn't ever arrive. Is that accurate?
He wouldn't have
as of
been
yet.
able to yet.
Mhm.
Right.
Even an eagle to the iron, not the Iron Islands, but you know what I mean. Would have just gotten there today, I think.
Well, maybe we could make our way to the Iron Isles. Iron
But-
Keep.
Maybe we could enlist the help of the king as well. I'm sure Earl and
Merle and Elaine.
Merle and Elaine, yes.
The
who's-
Earl King is separate.
Merle and
Yeah.
Elaine would be keen to inform them of what's going on. And as we've been kind to them, perhaps they may become allies to us in this fight as well.
And
Are they
you look
sitting
over, it's a
around
large
the-
circle. Yeah. It's a large circle. They're sitting around, kind of on the far side. They're actually in a conversation with Esvel. Seem to be casual. You can see Esvel's got her like porcelain mask on. Emotionally, she's detached and aloof. Playing the diplomat, pulling strings, even in a dire situation like this.
The Omnians are partially responsible for this. Mayhaps Esvel could convince the Emperor to send aid.
That's definitely a possibility. It could also be the case that the people here could have harbored some anti-Omnian sentiment, given all that's transpired at the hands of Eliza.
The people here are Omnian. Here,
true.
specifically.
I agree with you. It is not unheard of for people to disdain their own government.
The people
Do-
here were omnian. Oh, well, I guess there's those in Harlock, but many of them were descendants of folk.
In any event, it could be a way for the Emperor to... And I'm not saying we help him, but the way that we could phrase it to him, or Esfel could phrase it to him, is this could be a way to repair his reputation and at least keep their names on the table when it comes to trade talks.
Bell, about this time in the conversation, you're kind of focusing, kind of trying to pay attention to everybody who's talking, but you finish your identification of the tattoo, the ink of which has been distilled into that magical needle while it's not attuned to anyone. This is a barrier tattoo of medium strength. It requires attunement. Pressing it to your skin and attuning to it, the same sort of Viking knot depiction of a bear rug basically draped over your back, with the arms following down. Your arms would appear across your skin and would grant you a natural armor class of 15 plus your dexterity modifier while you aren't wearing armor. So anyone that attuned to this would basically always be wearing 15 plus your dexterity modifier, maximum of 2. Anyone who'd be wearing this would basically always be wearing half plate, but it's a tattoo of half plate, effectively. And you don't have to be proficient in medium armor to attune.
Does it? I don't remember about this. Does it still provide? I know that I thought this at one point. Does it give disadvantage on the stealth check still too?
It does.
That's what I thought.
So you can't have it and still have unarmored movement.
It
does not count as armor.
So
But it probably. I don't know, I guess it could. potentially.
Correct. That is correct. Barbarians and monks could both use this and still get all of their unarmored whatevers. Unarmored
Except
movement,
Defense.
except
they don't-
unarmored defense. Right. This would
Can't
this would
double up.
whichever is better for you, whichever of your unarmored options is better for you would be active.
would be that. But
Yes, this is 15 plus dexterity modifier, maximum of 2. So you'd have, if you have at least a
+2 dex, you'd have a 17 AC.
yes, thank you. That's correct.
what's my? Oh, I just get to unarmored defense. Just lets you add your Constitution.
It's Constitution and Dex. And
Constitution plus
it's 10
dexterity plus 10. Yes.
Yep.
And for
Okay.
monks it's the same, but with wisdom.
So
Dex
it
plus
so I've
would
got
be
an
an-
18.
It would be an increase for. Oh no. Oh, because your Dex is higher than that. Never
Yeah.
mind.
I've got a
being-
20 and a 16.
That being said, it's a good option for roleplay as well and subterfuge, because you can be armored and not look like you're armored. You can be wearing normal clothes. It's pretty cool. That's just certainly what drew Erliza to it. She could wear her ball gowns and her lordly, ladylike attire and still be protected.
So considering that Arm doesn't really care about Snowdown except for the dock, I don't imagine they're going to send reinforcements to fight a Titan.
At a certain point, we all live on this world, so.
The Titan physically here is much more pressing than the politics of your lesser nobles.
Yes, but you'd have to convince them of that.
Exactly. Like, you guys went and killed defeated a Serac, and no one else went for that. They didn't send people
That's
to
not.
stop the death curse. There was an entire dragon incursion. Not everybody sent reinforcement for that either. I'm just saying, I don't know if Arm is just going to just send someone just because they're feeling in the heroic mood.
I mean, it's
I'd be
partially
willing-
their fault.
That
Sure,
doesn't
but
mean-
they don't care. They don't care about our islands. They never have. They only cared about having an outpost here.
Convince
why-
them that they're gonna see that at the very least that suddenly out of nowhere their whatever their Duke, Duchess, whatever she is dead, and now there's this thing happening. Doesn't
Not just the
whatever
Duchess either.
information's coming out of here is not reliable right now. They're not gonna just jump on whatever this is. They have plausible deniability.
Not with Esfel here. Not with one of the Grey Castles.
Two.
Witnessed
even.
the whole thing. Two, yes, but Dorn is with us.
Esfel was working under a pseudonym in any event. But perhaps we're overthinking this. Perhaps we should just wait until the morning and... Bell, can you send your eye to go and surveil Care Westfall from here?
Could certainly try.
How far can it travel? 30 feet per 6 seconds.
300 feet per minute,
60 minutes.
3,000 feet for 10 minutes. I'm sorry, that was literally just me doing the math upwards. I couldn't do it any other way.
You can only get about 3 miles, I think.
And we're about 20 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think it's going to be possible. It doesn't have that sort of range.
Esfel! Esfel! I'm in the middle of a conversation. I'm sorry. She stands up and walks over. Yes. Yes, brother. How can I help you? Do you happen to know any scrying spells? Anything of the sort? As it happens, I do. And I do have such spells available at this time, but I'm not sure what it'll do for you. I'd have to have a target. Yeah, what's up, Will?
Just for my reminder, what school of magic is she associated with?
Transmutation.
Transmutation.
Thank you.
But she is a Wizard.
Yeah. I didn't
From
know
a-
if that was Dorn asking his divination wizard sister if she had divination spell. Like, I didn't know if there was like a kind of like a Dorn, are you dumb? Yes.
Yeah,
or
not in this case.
I forgot. I just forgot altogether what she was.
I don't necessarily have a target for that spell.
Did you meet the... What was their name? Gold Blood.
Gamma. I did briefly.
Couldn't you also scry a location?
Ah. Vale. That blood on your shield.
Oh yeah, I needed to clean that off still.
But wait,
I haven't yet.
that might work. She begins scrambling around. Eventually,
There's a bit of anti-magic, so however to make that work, I'm just letting you know.
I think it's only fresh, but I'm not sure. I haven't felt anything coming from it. You were able to cast spells, were you not?
Sure, it just didn't seem like the shield would have been effective.
Well, will you lay your shield down?
Yeah.
She pulls out a water skin and pours water into the bowl of your shield. There's a pool, roughly like round-edged, triangular shaped in the well of it. And she casts Scrying. You all huddle in around her and peer over, looking into
Oh.
the pool. Yes.
I'll connect mentally with her so that I can see as well.
Make an intelligence check.
17.
17. That is high enough to realize that you cannot safely connect with her before you hurt yourself.
Okay. I'm glad I was smart enough not to do that. How about that? Huh?
As you reach out psychically with your tendrils of thought, you encounter the mental equivalent of like razor wire fence.
Are you sure?
You know when the dungeon master says, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And you do see that she has a ring on her finger that looks like both lobes of a brain inset in gold on her ring. She has a ring that seems to probably... I think you guys might have actually run into one before, or maybe not.
I think the other party did.
Mm.
As in, Jerry has
As
one.
in, Errol has one that's invisible. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Never mind then. My mistake. As you peer over and into the pool, it begins to fill with cloudy luminance. And then it resolves itself. Very close up of a blank, lifeless face. A stone-skinned creature. Golden liquid dripping out of his mouth. As it zooms out slowly, you can see Gamma impaled on a column-sized tine of one of the massive antlers of the Titan. So minuscule in size compared to the creature that you would not have seen it on the silhouette. The scry continues to pan out. You see that it is hundreds of feet in the air, held aloft on this crown of antlers. You do get a glimpse of the creature as well. One thing that is of note, carrion birds, vultures, crows, ravens, swarm all around the antlers and pick at the mineral-like body of Gamma. As you zoom out, even in the darkness, you can see that the creature, the Titan, has long, wild hair that looks like vines and Spanish moss. You can see, just barely under a shadowed brow, bright, emberous eyes. As the scribe continues to pan out, and you can see that the creature has fully excavated itself from beneath the palace. It stands 1,200 feet maybe tall. Massive height. You get the impression that if the curvature of the earth weren't in your way, you'd be able to see it from here.
We're gonna need bigger guns, brothers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Also, you catch a glimpse in the scry. At its feet, in the chasm from whence it pulled itself from the earth, troves of green is erupting. Saplings,
Just green.
trees, greenery,
Oh.
flora, if I may. saplings, vines, just an eruption of life. Trees growing to maturity in a matter of moments, pouring out, blanketing the city of Care Westfall in helix ivy and lichen and just trees that grow up between the rubble, the houses, spreading rapidly out. Make a perception check, everyone. Rather high DC. You're actually scrying gamma, so you're viewing it quite a distance away.
Aww.
That's not gonna do it, friend.
But I rolled a 27 though.
A 27.
You know what? Let's go ahead and use all of my resources and roll a d10.
Okay.
This is one that doesn't necessarily come back tomorrow. I shouldn't do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because of the.
I did it.
Oh, that's good though.
Plus 10.
26.
I wasn't gonna be able to beat yours, so that was the reason why I shouldn't have.
Plus 10. No, he also rolls a 27.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I did roll. It is a plus because I did a +1.
With that, did everyone roll? Except for Dorn, who's like tending his achy, breaky heart.
Oh,
Don't you tell my heart.
Yeah, thank you.
Grab the coin out of the air.
Where is Vale? Yes, Vale and Iken, you can both notice as well. There are pooling at the base of this creature, around its feet. 1,200 feet away, mind you, they're like minuscule, but they're humanoids. Bright, cosmic, luminescent humanoids. Swarming to the Titan. Throwing themselves prone, supine, at his feet, bowing fervently. And they are amassing in droves. Not too dissimilar from the Eidolon-like creatures. The cosmic spirits that you saw being brought forth by the sickle.
it seems our stag-headed friend might be bringing an army with him.
As in, like, to us?
Well, probably not to you and I specifically, but yes, to this plane.
Asfel shudders and the image dissipates. It's just now water in a shield.
Do you remember those beings that we fought? The ones that came out of the statues?
I don't think I was there for that.
You were not.
What?
When you broke the statue.
You were there, Tor.
Yeah,
was
Tor, you were totally there.
Yeah, Tor was definitely there.
I broke a statue?
Remember when I sent you like, hey, this is what you're facing by yourself, alone, because everyone else is over here, and you're by
Oh, yeah.
yourself?
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I also didn't know what he was talking about until
And
just now.
Eidolon came out. Yeah.
Nice.
It's
It
also
seems
not
that-
dissimilar at all from the cosmic cloud beings that you faced in the carriage on the way to Care Westfall, heading south.
That was more what I was thinking of.
They would be identical in composition.
It is not a Titan, but his minions as well.
So, do we need to run some more?
Queen.
Would that we could.
I think we have no choice but to rest. take advantage of the hospitality of the druids, and hope that tomorrow brings a clearer picture. And with that, I'll take my
Hopefully
own
that
advice.
thing isn't standing over us by the morning.
Well, we can only hope. She stands up and walks over to a small section. She pulls out a spell book and begins ritually casting a spell, and in short order there is a semi-transparent dome that she steps into.
Vale is actually gonna step away, like seeing that. I was like, yeah. If anything happens, anyone needs a spot, you can come in. But I'd prefer if I had my own space tonight, and I will go and set up the same kind of thing.
Alright, as you cast your own tiny hut.
And I'm gonna intend to have the moon visible at all times.
Pretty easy since there aren't really any tall trees around you. And with that, anyone have anything further they'd like to do this evening? People they'd like to talk to?
Did I get the identification on the necklace?
You did. This is it's a holy symbol. It's magical only insofar as that it is useful to someone who worships the green god Cernanos.
Okay.
A god and moniker alone.
As for Belle, she would probably try to find a spot that's a little away from the group and just kind of sit down, fiddle the lute, and around.
Is it a fiddle or a lute?
I was just gonna fiddle with the lute. Yeah,
Kinky.
yeah. She's got a little bow. And she can kind of like push between and
Oh!
Right.
Oh, I didn't know it had a high enough bridge to do.
Of course it does. It's the loot of the bards, brother. What do
Oh,
you mean?
okay. Das Lute?
It's just Das Lute. But it's about 11 o'clock when we get there. Around midnight, after everything's kind of calmed down a little bit, she's gonna take out the moon calc and just fiddle with that and see if she can figure out how it works, and
Yeah. Pulling out this complicated, it's like the size of a hockey puck, basically. There's this complicated series of interconnected, or concentric, I should say, brass rings that are constantly ticking. On the back, there's a wind-up mechanism. You keep it wound pretty much, because if you ever didn't, it wouldn't be quite in sync. But the whole thing just constantly has these various teleportation circle configurations, and they're rotating at different angles and degrees. Occasionally, one of the rings actually lifts itself up, flips itself over, and drops itself back down. There's a whole new set of teleportation runes in that circle as they rotate. It's hard to make heads or tails of how it works. Pretty easy to discern what it's supposed to do. It's got a brass, basically a brass bar that's entirely hollow, a brass rectangle. It's just the border. I'm trying to think what else might have this. I don't know. You ever seen those like book readers that's like a magnifying glass, but it's just one line at a time?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's like appended to the side, and where the teleportation circles line up, there's exactly 7 teleportation runes that are within that reader. So that's like at any given moment.
What the teleportation would be to get to
the
the
teleportation,
moon base.
yes, configuration to head to the lunar base, and it seems that whoever created this cleverly calculated, for exactly the moon's location compared to the universal central location that all teleportation magic is based off of, the geocentric calculus. And basically, as long as you're typing in exactly that, you would probably land pretty close to where you're headed. If you got it wrong, you might just appear in space.
Belle's just gonna take some time to look over that, just every little detail of it, and just, in her mind, she's just thinking, moon base is destroyed. If I didn't want people looking for me, I might tell him that was destroyed and just not go there. Of course, he could be anywhere across the world, for all I know. If only there's a way to tell. If only there's a way to get there.
Is Belle talking out loud?
She's talking out loud, but she's away from everybody.
Gotcha.
Or
gotcha,
she tried to
gotcha,
be at least. She's
gotcha.
trying to
Mhm.
be
Okay.
a little out. She
It
is talking to herself.
It is worth noting that Toral's moon, much like Earth's moon, Toral is very similar to Earth physically. Toral's moon is geosynchronous, so there's one face of the moon always faces the planet. There's a perpetual dark side of the moon, and the moon base is set up on the horizon.
So can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
There's a face of the moon that always faces Earth.
Right, it's
I mean,
tidally
Toral.
locked. Yeah.
Yes. So it's rotating at the same time that it's rotating, and so that it always faces. The moon base is set up on exactly the tangent. So like, if you thought of the moon as a coin, it's on the edge.
So, like, in theory, if I had a magnifying glass, or a telescope, I might be
Yes,
able to see a little protrusion.
It intentionally has a view of the planet.
Right.
But yeah, it would be a massive distance. Not to say that such technology doesn't exist, but you certainly don't have it. Maybe at Candlekeep they might have that kind of technology.
Sid, would this have been the first time that the flask had been used in the way that it had been used?
No, but probably only like the second or third ever.
Okay. Alucard will be sitting not like really far away from anybody, but I mean a little bit of distance, maybe like 30 feet away from the main group, and he's going to try to like very futilely like force the flask open.
Yeah, it is locked so tight. It's one of these flasks that has it's like the square, slightly curved configuration where the top like slides down and then screws in,
Mm-hmm.
screws off and then slaps up. But you cannot get any purchase on turning it. The gold script across the top still shows 10 days.
Oh, Nick, you bastard. He attempts to go to sleep.
All right. Anyone else
So
have any?
Yes, I do, but
Mhm.
AJ can go first.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
That interaction that just happened, does the party know what that's about? Because AJ doesn't.
Which interaction?
Does that
The flask.
Alucard just had with the flask? You said that something had happened to it, and this was like the third time it ever. Like what?
So
D-
Tour
should I know?
Tour
I
may
was-
have been close enough at this exact time. You were in the courtyard. At the beginning of last session, Alucard pulls out his flask, opens it up, drains the last drop, sighs heavily, and then passes it to Belle. As soon as Belle takes hold of it, she can feel it suddenly filling with some sort of liquid. She drinks it, and it is in fact a superior potion of healing. Heals Belle relatively, because they had both just been stricken by a trebuchet munition and almost knocked out of the sky. As soon as Belle pulls it away from her lips, the latch shuts, screws tight, and in gold script across the front it says 10 days. As far as how Alucard has responded to that so far, that's not something that's necessarily been revealed to the party. But
Sorry.
Bell was close enough to recognize that's how that interaction went down, play by play.
Seems very cool. AJ didn't want to miss out. Thank you.
That's a broken item is what it is. It's awesome.
Ekin is going to get a ways from the group, walk actually into the woods since he's still got the form of the Oni and can see in the dark. And will sit and take out 2 pieces of parchment and some ink. And he begins writing a letter on one addressed to the head of his order. Just detailing what has happened since he escaped captivity. The people that he's with, and the name of the one who may deliver this parchment. And at the bottom he will sign. Roll it up. And tie a ribbon around it. And on the outside, where the paper meets, he'll draw the crest of the Ekin, Order of the Ekin. The second letter will be addressed to the head of the sister order, the Order of the Last Order. And he is going to write a letter detailing the lamentation of having saved a child who, in all likelihood, no longer has a family. The possibility that if this child grows up and would like to learn how to defend himself and represent himself in a way that is honorable, maybe he could find tutelage in my homeland. And as he gets to the end of this letter, he will take the lightning kopesh and just prick the tip of his finger and let 5 or 6 drops fall into the ink. And he will reapply to the brush and write his full name as signature. And roll it up and do the same thing with the symbol. And then on the back side, draw a circle, and in the circle, draw the kanji for his home province. Similarly, tie it and head back to camp and kind of search around for any spare cloth or sacks and attempt to wrap up the letter with the lightning kopesh.
Yeah, you kind of like, I don't know who has the bag of holding, but knowing that you're planning this, you could have looked earlier. You guys have a couple of rain catchers from your journeys through Schult that have a really nice thick oiled canvas because they're meant to like gather the water, and that would be perfect for like protecting, wrapping up this kind of stuff.
Yep. He's going to wrap it and tie it with the letter inside with the kopesh and the other the other letter outside. And then he will go to sleep. Let the Oni drop and all the exhaustion hit him.
All right. Dawn breaks on the 15th day of Uktar.
Did we get a long rest?
Yes.
Did. Nice.
Everyone, long rest yourself up.
What kind of XP are we sitting at?
A number between the number that you have and the number that you need. What kind of XP are you actually sitting at?
I have 85465.
I
Yep.
agree.
91615.
That sounds correct. In comparison to what I think that our numbers were before that.
All right. I told you I would get this done before today, and I didn't do anything. So
Sure.
continue to roleplay while I figure out how much experience points you should have.
In the
What
morning,
action did you remove from me?
Iken is going to
Well, I can only see your eyes.
approach Obe, and I guess since he's trying to figure this out, Jerry, if you wouldn't mind reprising your role for a minute. Obe. I understand that you will be staying here. And that this child will probably stay with you. Or at least for a time. Could I count on you to keep this safe for him until a time that he is able to use it? And he'll take out the Kopesh and hand it to you.
Oh, we'll look down at it. He'll look back at Iken and say, I will do this. But I believe we should trade. Obe's going to reach and say, tell me if this is not a thing I can do. Obe is going to reach into his pack and take out the navel of the moon.
Oh, I was gonna
We
ask
have-
that anyway.
We have had since it's our time in Jolton. I don't know if I will need it while I'm here, but since traveling with all of you, I've begun to think of you all as my family, as my home. And I want you to take this because it is said that the navel of the moon will always bring you home.
It would be a pleasure. And I do not know where this would point us towards, but I hope you are there when we arrive.
I hope so as well. I want to thank you for your help in helping to bring my family back together. We'll reach out and embrace Iken.
Iken will heartily return the embrace. Until next time, my friend.
Yes, let's just hope that it doesn't involve rain and a beach.
There could be better places.
This is true.
The rain
Bell
wasn't
will
nearly
go.
as bad as the rock. As Dorn comes in for his hug too. He leans down,
Yep.
pats your shell.
Oba's
God, I
hugging
wasn't-
everybody.
Yeah, like Rail runs. I wasn't done, Dorn, and he's like has diamond dust in his hand. Like I was.
Belle comes up with her Queen of Murk leather wrapped up with all of her daggers and rolls them out, grabs the voracious dagger, turns into and says, "I never thought this day would come." He's got it like holding his hand like this. I never thought this day would come. And he'll flip it over. Do not wish to part with you, but if I must, take this with you. It will remember you.
Thank you.
And he gives you the voracious dagger as a memento.
Vicious.
Vicious dagger. He's renamed it to voracious dagger.
It's so hungry.
Great to find this.
Okay, so O will go up to Vale. Kneel down, because I think, yeah, they're not. Oh, Vale.
Yeah,
Oba's
You're
taller.
you're taller.
Oba's obviously tall, yeah.
Even if it's not by much, it's taller
Yes.
enough.
I need you to know something, Vale. This group would not be here without you. And I hope that you are able to find some means to get your body back. And then he hugs Vale.
Glad you have your leader with your family. And Gil chokes up at that and hugs you out tight. Protect him. That's what we're here for. That's what we came here for. I'm sorry we didn't get to celebrate that the victory that we had.
It is okay. We live in Faerun. There's never time to celebrate with the ones you love. This is why these moments matter the most.
I'll remember your concerns and keep them in mind for things that we go across. Those thoughts were things I never thought about, but I'll keep them in mind so we don't lose ourselves like you were worried about.
Please do. Also, please look at. I don't know what kind of person Alucard is at this moment, but he might need similar guidance.
I am genuinely intrigued, and I feel like I'm the only person who's very excited to see see him just be an absolute buffoon. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping me kind of interested, and I need some kind of lightheartedness, and that's what I'm hoping for right now. That's all. That's whatever
As long
problems.
as it doesn't get you killed, I suppose that is fine.
Yeah. That's what I can say about all of us, though.
It's true. We'll go over to Bell.
It's now. He's
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, just for the
So-
audience, that's
Mm.
Jonathan's true changeling form goes by It's the only form that's aware of all the other forms' existence within the whole.
I have to admit that traveling with you has made me very confused. But
it's not always a bad thing.
thank you for your friendship and your kind words, encouraging words, especially in the heat of battle. And I do have an important question to ask. So, when did you and Dawn become a thing? Or is there something there between you and Dawn? I'm not. I was just curious. I was unsure.
Become a thing. What are you speaking of?
Well, Bell or Mathesis, I don't know. I was just getting. It's not important.
I do not see what you are talking about.
I
The close
don't
friends, just as you and I are close friends.
I suppose. I just didn't understand. Okay. Tell
You should know by
Mathesis-
now that things are not always what they seem to you.
This is true. Please tell Mathesis and Bell that I love them dearly and I can't wait to see them again.
I too wish for that day.
Today I learned that between now and next session I need to come up with a different scene configuration so that I'm not stuck here on screen while you guys are
I
having
thought
role
about
playing
that.
moments. Yeah,
I thought about it.
I really am engaged, I promise, but like
You see, kind of look up, up and to the left whenever he says that, and I do wish one day that we'd all meet together. But until we meet again, do be safe,
I will.
and I know that you will. But
Oh, that reminds me. The I don't know if I even have. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. That's the problem. It helps if you look at the right character sheet. Okay. So he's gonna take out. Obe's gonna take out like a empty glass vial.
from your herbalist kit.
Yes, I might not do that.
Okay. Not from your
Looking
herbalist
for.
kit.
I'm looking for the thing. Oh, okay. So he's gonna take out one of the Queen of Merc rings that he had made. They're rings, like they look like bracelets. And he's gonna take the vicious dagger. He's going to cut himself slightly and then like rub the blood against the ring. And he's going to hand it to and say, in case a scrying is necessary. And he hands you the ring.
Okay. You take 2 points of not you. Obe takes 2 points of slashing damage.
Mhm.
Obe's at 10 hit points, so that brings him down to 8. Just kidding.
Well, I'm assuming
He did
he's
not
left.
rest last night.
He didn't rest. He was so ecstatic about getting his brother back.
I also, this morning when I long rested, I said that I didn't do it, so I will do it now. I'm gonna cast Greater Restoration on Dorn.
Okay. Naturally.
No, magic.
unnaturally, yeah.
Oh no.
There's feedback somewhere.
Echo.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, that too. Okay. As your moonlit magic washes forth from your hands,
Diamonds on
Diamond dust.
on the
falling like twinkling stars over Dorn's wounds. The crystals shatter. Dorn will take 10 points of slashing damage as they are dispelled, and the shards kind of lacerate him, but the crystal is dispersed in its entirety. In the skin, you can see now the raw, like rashed, gaping wound, free of the mineral growth. So I will actually long rest for Dorn. Since I guess no one's paying attention. JK.
I actually did try to do it, but I don't have
Damn it,
access.
Cameron. Why didn't you long rest? From the airplane.
True.
And then he takes the 10 points of slashing damage. Perfect. Alright. Gentlemen. Sometimes lady. The world is your oyster.
Before we're done, Iken will ask Bell. Bell, actually, could you help me speak to the child before we leave?
I can do this thing for you. But perhaps it should not be me. I am afraid that I may scare the one.
Fair enough.
He will, you'll see the skin start to shimmer a little bit, and suddenly the form of Bell will appear. Alright, well. What would you like to say to him?
Could you link me to him?
Dude, it doesn't exactly work that way, unfortunately. I can link to him, but to talk to me.
Fair enough. I would like for you to let him know that while things may seem dark right now, he is being left in caring and capable hands. And should the time ever come that he needs tutelage and would like to visit my home country, all he need do is present the letter that is with the sword to the head of the last sword order and say that he comes bearing a message from Hiyama Ichomena Akari Ikken.
You got all that?
Yeah. I say that to the kid, but in a kid way.
So as you approach, as you guys head over, he is with Obe's family, and he's talking to Obe's mother, and he's just the Eisen I can just we squares for life and just Walaka just can Eisen Philotustians in we Gregorians or os Vlad Gabuel. And Obe's mother just no clue, but
Hello there.
Be in the
He hears
Kailogua.
in his head he hears. Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Good day.
I'm a little cold.
It is a bit cold, isn't it? Let's see if you can get you a coat. And Belle will say out loud, is there anything heavier for this child to wear? He's cold.
Within a matter of moments, one of the druids brings up a heavy woolen quilt and drapes it over him. Benefits.
I realize that this may be a lot for you right now. I realize that that's a very, very adult thing to say. Things are scary. But these people are very, very kind. They don't understand what you're saying, but they will take care of you, and you would do well to learn how to speak with them.
I can.
You're a very smart boy.
He says out loud. I can spoke the common.
Very well, Bell will say in his head and out loud. I have something very important to tell you. Should it be the case that you stay with these nice people, when you're older,
Stay with them.
when you're older,
But why? Why would I stay here in the woods? What?
I'll tell you that in just a moment. But should it be the case that you need to stay with them, they'll keep you safe. And should it be a time when you get older, you would like to learn how to defend yourself like the one who saved you, All you need to do is talk to this man right here, and I'll point to Obe. And he'll be able to help you do that. Okay? Now, you know what's happened in this city. A lot of scary things.
But lots of people ran into the ocean. They're gonna be okay, right?
It's very possible that...
We're gonna go home.
Oh, sweet child. It's very possible that you may go home. But for the time being, you're safe here. I know this is so much for you. But take heart in the fact that you're not alone. Do you know the name of your parents?
Yes.
Well, if you can tell them who your parents are, they can try to reunite you. Help them find them. But for now, you will need to be a good boy, a strong boy, a brave boy. And listen to what they have to sell you. Okay? And if you need anything, all you need to do is ask. These are very strong and brave people you're with, young child. You'll be just fine.
Make a persuasion check.
Not performance, but persuasion. I wish it was performance. 28.
Oh.
Now she'll put her hand on his shoulder. You're a strong and brave young boy. Just fine.
As you go to pull away and end the conversation, he reaches out and grabs the sleeve. Thank you.
Oh, she'll get down on her knee and hug the kid. It's alright. It's alright. Tears just mean your heart is working. Let them go.
Okay. So you have that moment with him. Everyone else is doing your morning preparations.
God.
Tor will leave near where Ob sleeps, or where his little camp was. When they were doing their whole thing, he's gonna leave the water skin that he was brewing with and say I'm happier with your people. I'm sorry we didn't know each other longer. I know we didn't get off on the right foot, but I am genuinely happy for you. Since you'll never really be able to taste this, otherwise, have it. I'll make more. And I'll sign it.
Leaving your fermenting, single-serve beer in a bag.
It'll be 4 servings. Thank you.
4 servings. four small servings.
And finally, Iken will approach Esfel and hand out a letter and say, if you can read this, feel free. There's nothing secretive about it, but if you know of any way to get this across the sea to Shu, would you do that for me?
I certainly owe you that and more. You can. She takes the letter, puts it in her. It will be handled.
Thank you.
And she actually accompanies you back over to the rest of the group. Actually, I had hoped to speak with you all this morning. I took an opportunity last night to contact the king of the Moonshay Island, the High King, Derek Kendrick, inform him of the catastrophe that has occurred at Cair Westfall. I have also reached out to the Omnian Empire. Both monarchs already have ships en route to Cair Westfall. Per my original instructions, Um, both monarchs intend to stay the course to Care Westfall so that they can view for themselves what has transpired there and verify my claims, which are extravagant. So, I am not certain what there is left to be seen of the city, based on my scrying last night. But you should know that if you have any intention at all of parleying with the two political powers, now might be your best opportunity. They should be arriving tomorrow evening, or thereabouts. I'd be happy to broker a conversation on your behalves, if there is such safe water to tread at the time. There is so much we still do not know.
I don't see any harm in it. In fact, I think it might be the best case scenario at the point. There's much that we can do in order to prepare ourselves, but there's no way we're going to be able to fight a Titan and an army. If it comes down to that, we don't actually know the motives of this thing. It could be the case that they would like to just leave, or it could be the case that they want to rip our world in two.
Let's hope for option A, shall we?
Always hope for option A, and indeed plan for option B.
Well,
This is the progenitor of the Feywilds, no? To
There
know
is
the
a
mind
If
of
we
such
know
a
is to
thing.
be believed.
there is very little known about Cernunnos. I took an opportunity last night to cast a sending to one of the scholars at Candle Keep and ask if there were any information about him buried in the archives. He said he didn't know anything off the top of his head, but he would set a squire upon it. If there's anything to be known, I should know later in the day, but the fact that it did not immediately occur to him only illuminates how very obscure this Titan is. But then again, that's not uncommon. We only know of a handful of Titans. They were banished from the world before the mortal races were created.
But the information has to be somewhere, right? I mean, it's not like no one wrote it down, right? The nerds at Candlekeep clearly must have some idea, at least know where to look.
Alucard, if there is any knowledge on paper or etched in memory, it can be found at Candlekeep, I am certain.
So after we meet with the kings, that's where we're going, or do we want to go somewhere else? We have to find some type of information, that I imagine.
That's entirely up to you. I will be making my way today to Harlock across the lake, and from there head south along the road as quickly as I can and as safely as I can until I feel I can go no further, such that I am ready to be at the disposal of the kings when they meet, which I hope will be a cordial meeting. Are we not also expecting Norals?
Messenger, but it's kind of it at this point.
Good. I should hate to have to juggle 3 nations. Dorn scoffs.
I'll take that to mean you're sad that you don't get to juggle 3 nations.
She has the very slightest smile creep upon her otherwise stern face. Who keeps discording me? Oh.
So you're traveling by yourself as well? You don't strike me as one to not have an entourage.
That is true, but times being such as they are, I'm capable of managing on my own. Unless you'd like to accompany me.
Oh no. No, high society is not where I would like to be at the moment.
It really never was for you, was it, Alucard?
Well, not all of us can be as ambitious and cutthroat as you, as well.
Although as I recall, you did enjoy parties.
Yes, it's true. Those were fun.
Everybody loves a good party.
It's true. And yes, definitely.
Well, then I shall be making my way. I do not know what your plans might entail, but tomorrow afternoon, in the bay of Caer Westfall, if it is not overrun, if you have any intention of meeting with the monarchs, that is where I will be.
Okay.
Safe travels.
Thank you. She reaches into her satchel, reaches in like Mary Poppins, arm shoulder deep, pulls out a scroll, unfurls it, chants briefly in an archaic language, and in a moment there is a silver horse magically before her. She mounts and begins to trot through the wood.
I
Leaving
want
the party.
one of those.
You're muted, Jonathan. You're muted on
You're still
on
muted.
Skype.
You're muted on Skype, yeah.
Rip.
I too would like one of those.
Phantom Steed. It's a relatively low level spell. You could find a spell scroll.
I intend to.
So you need a second level spell.
Here's the question that I'm wondering is, so we're going to meet with the king and the emperor tomorrow?
Yeah, the way I see it,
Probably
we just got
with
bamboozled into
representatives.
playing Alliance. I mean, Dorn wouldn't say that. Totally messed up. That was my fault. The way I see it, we just got bamboozled into playing Asvel's game.
Well,
Sometimes it's a necessary game.
I don't disagree. But just recognize that it was her plan from the beginning.
Like to raise the
Titan
Titan?
and everything?
Oh, you're talking about something else.
No,
Because
to get
I'll
us
fight
involved
her.
with the politics.
Weren't we getting in? Weren't you all getting involved in the politics because you wanted to create some council or something like that?
Maybe so, but I'm
Hey,
certain
listen,
it's
it
her
was a good
fault.
idea.
It still is a good idea.
It's also
Just
a good time to
maybe
put
not
that together.
on Snowdown.
I just didn't want to be here for it, truthfully. I didn't want to be. You're right. I didn't want to be involved. I wanted them to figure it out on their own. I have
Fair
no.
enough.
I don't necessarily want to
Ball
be
in the
involved in
sport,
the decisions, but I definitely
Now
want to
I
know
want
what's
to
happening.
be
Now, yeah.
involved in trying to convince them to do more for the greater good.
Tour.
You're saying
Hello.
At this moment, you become deaf and blind.
Oh, great. What's up, Earl King? How you doing, pal?
You hear a thunderous voice. It's the only thing you can hear. As everything else around you becomes blank. All the rest of you notice Tor just kind of following along with conversation lackadaisically, just like, and then all of a sudden he's just like, Tor, you hear a thunderous voice. What have you done?
First of all, it wasn't me, alright? Okay? Second of all, what the fuck even really is that? I don't really know. I mean, I know it ain't good.
It's a titan. It is the most important titan to me.
Okay. So do we put it back?
Can you?
I mean, how would we?
I can't. So I
Okay,
don't know.
How would? Okay. Well, listen. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Of
It's-
either of us who would know, you would be the one, though.
Don't smart mouth me, Tuller.
Is he
I have
speaking?
no
out loud?
patience for it this morning.
I learned it from you, to be fair.
I can no longer approach Snowdown.
That was exactly the opposite of any kind of plan I had.
My corridors lead only back on themselves. Looped and looped through the Shadowfell, impossible to return to the material on that island. Or in the ocean, or anywhere nearby.
Well, my current goal is to put it back,
Great.
but I don't know how I'm supposed to do that.
I'll
I mean,
expect
I'm
a
gonna
progress
try to
report
figure it
then.
out.
Your vision comes back.
Was Tor speaking out loud just now?
Tor, make a wisdom save. DC 15.
I guess I'm being on
He was definitely speaking out loud.
Like, we just all stop and like, what?
What was that?
Oh, what?
You were
was
talking.
Oh. Yeah. The guy, Broking's not very happy.
Oh, good.
Hey, good news for, I guess, anyone that didn't want him to step on this island. He can't do that anymore.
Your patron
Mm-hmm.
cannot enter Snowtown.
Yes, that's right.
What does that mean for you?
Not too much, I hope. I'm gonna fire an Eldritch Blast into the air, or try to.
It goes off.
Yeah, so not really too much, I would suppose.
Completely unnecessary.
Iken is going to fly straight up.
Okay.
For about 2 minutes.
Okay.
How long does it take until I can see the Titan?
Not terribly long. Flying at your full speed, dashing for 2 minutes.
That's pretty high up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
90 feet per 6 seconds.
Quick math.
1,800 feet. Did I do that
Yeah.
math right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. It's beginning to get a little bit difficult to breathe.
Sure.
Just because there's such a dense atmosphere over Snowdown. It's Ireland, so it's always foggy and rainy and shit. But as you're looking out towards the coast, you can see the creature.
Is it walking?
It is now turned back towards the mainland. Kind of hunched it down. Something in mass, like glowing sand, is just all around him.
What do you mean? Like on him? Or like at his feet?
Mostly at his feet. Some of them, though, are floating, and you imagine they're probably the Eidolons, but in this distance, their light is so minuscule that you can only see it when there's many of them in one place.
Okay. But he's not moving. But he has moved. He's turned.
He's kind of mobile, but he's not marching. There is a god ray. There's a break in the clouds where the morning sun is streaming through and striking Caer Westfall and him, and you can see how vibrantly green he is. He is like a mountain. His body, his shoulders are covered in trees and growth, and spreading out from him like a plague of rampant life is just trees and forest. Spreading
Okay.
slowly, but like real quick for trees.
Yeah. Oh, oh boy. Ekin is going to fly back down,
Mm-hmm.
and once I land, well, everybody needs to leave. Everybody needs to leave. He's not marching, but he is moving, and it looks like the force that we discovered last night is growing and amassing around him. And trees. Trees are just spreading from him. And I don't think that anybody wants to be stuck in those woods. So we should go somewhere.
Okay.
So where do we go?
Well, we need to be able to get to... Hey, Alucard. Do you think that captain that we met has procured a ship by now?
I have no idea whatsoever whether he has a ship, and I don't necessarily think he would be keen on talking to me at this point.
Fair, but if he has a ship... Yes, Vale.
Landrain and Care Westfall are two of the ports of this island.
The only two.
And I'll let you
Brannock?
finish the thought there.
Is Brannock not a port? Well, we... Hey, Sid, do I remember seeing any ships docked at Landrain when we were there last?
The docks were fucked up, right?
The
The entire
the
dock was destroyed.
the
It was
docks had
That was
been
the
burnt.
point that I was
yeah.
making.
Don't we have like Norls possibly coming on the way?
Yeah,
We
but
have
they're
a
not
messenger
close.
from the Norls on the
Yeah,
way.
but they could, if they choose to respond as
What
such.
about the other Norals? What about the one who dropped us off here, who said he'd be making his way back?
That would be the... If we had somebody, that would be who we would have becoming at this point. Probably.
Right.
Oh, I
The
thought
dwarven
messenger
captain
was
that took you
separate.
There was
the
a
Iron Keep.
there was a rock going from Tor's home to
An albatross.
Yeah, that to
Not quite a rock.
the iron. What?
Iron Keep.
Okay, it is Iron Keep. Okay, good. I keep getting like thinking
the
of wrong
Iron
there.
House.
Yeah. It was going to take 2 days, and then it would take 2 days from there to they have to decide what they're going to do there, and then it would take 2 days for them to get from there to here. Was the thing. It would take like 10 for them to get from all the way up there to Snowdown.
Yeah, I just don't remember how long that guy said it would be until he was back along the coast. Cause
Well, I
the
mean,
guy
Yeah,
who
we've
he
dropped
was
been
doing a
us off-
trading run. He was heading to Baldur's Gate.
We had three.
That's a
We had
while.
3 weeks that we lost on top of that too, as a reminder.
In the Feywild.
Yeah, so- yeah. Who knows where he is now?
So just to put a tallying list of things that were in front of us at the moment, there is the meeting between the kings or royalty that we could go through. There is the possibility of leaving and going to Candle Keep. There is the bow that is on an island around here somewhere that we could pursue. Am I missing anything?
Let's go get the bow.
My
I
issue
really
with
think
leaving
that's-
here is how do we get back?
Right.
Oh, it's a great
Well,
question.
we could charter a ship.
We could also not come
And take
back.
months.
That's an option.
Well,
And
Not
where are
from-
we going to get a ship from?
Not from Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter. It's a week or two at most.
And ask someone to go and likely die.
The Mesroan ship could take us somewhere, but I am in agreement with Bell. I think the more firepower we have, assuming this bow is as legendary as the salamander made it seem, the more firepower we have, the better.
I have to agree. If we plan on leaving to rally and coming back, I'd rather have the bow in hand before we leave the Isles.
Tor, you have a
Look like
question.
you have something to say.
Tor, you
AJ
up?
has a question. The motherfuckers with the super fancy boats that shoot shit with the cannons.
Sahwagen.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Nope.
No, the Sahwagen.
Oh my.
It's
That
blue.
artwork isn't stream legal.
Uh-oh.
The sailors from Lanton have superior technology. Nelanther Isles are all pirates. They're like the primary source of all pirateering up and down the Sword Coast.
I am better pirate.
Yeah, you're like a raider. You're like more like a Viking. They're like, Jack Sparrow, Caribbean.
This is the tale.
Vikings.
That's right.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Exactly.
They're fast.
The
Those
Lantern
ships fast.
ships, yes.
Toron's able now. Those ships from Lanton. Those things could be an option. I don't know how you guys would interact with them, but I know how I would. It wouldn't be very good, but I don't know. I mean,
Dorn, weren't you a prisoner on one of those at some point?
I was briefly imprisoned at Nelantha. It was more by choice, though.
Yes, I too have chosen to be imprisoned on several occasions. Something that I have done intentionally
was a fact-finding
and on
mission.
purpose. Yes, indeed.
What Cass and I were... Well, anyway. We had it
Wait a
entirely under
second.
control.
Donna, you said... Never mind. It's not pertinent. Not pertinent at all.
Oh, this is a reminder that they met you the day that I died. Oh, weird.
Right.
Actually, rather close to after, like immediately after you died. Almost, moments.
Almost like Dorncrest saved me. What a bitch.
I didn't know you.
Anyway, so what is the decision that we're coming to make here? We've got a day or so, is that correct, before the meeting of the royal people?
Tomorrow afternoon.
I don't know if
Okay.
we can get to the island before it gets
That's what-
back.
Talked about the beating at the docks of Westfall.
Probably off the shore in the sea.
also only if it was safe, I believe is what she said, right? I mean, like,
Westfall is not there.
I have a ship.
What?
How long does it actually last, though? It's that we took it already.
I have a ship.
But how
kind of shit.
can it actually help us do the thing that we need to do, though? That was the issue we had last time. Is that
Well,
the timing of it was
Yes,
gonna
it's quite
this-
significant. When I find... Who is this?
Dorn.
Dorn.
Do we still have the
Gorstag.
boat?
Not the folding boat.
At the folding
Oh.
boat, we have a feather token that also has a weird timer on it, I think.
Yeah. But why doesn't he have it on his character sheet? Cameron.
Is it in the
Because-
bag of holding?
Well, because I think
Oh,
it's not an item,
mind.
actually.
It's
Oh,
on
you
your character
think
sheet.
it was an item.
It's on his. This tiny object looks like a feather. Different types of. You can use an action to touch the token body of water at least 60 feet diameter. The token disappears in a 50-foot long, 20-foot wide boat shaped like a swan. Takes its place. The boat itself is propelled and moves across water at a speed of 6 miles per hour. You can use an action while on the boat to command it to move or to turn up to 90 degrees. Once used, it cannot be deployed again for 6 days.
And how long can it be active for?
24 hours.
It can move. To
6
a
miles
lot of
per hour.
miles.
Is that
6
right?
miles per hour.
Yeah.
Pretty substantial.
144 miles.
Yeah.
Lot. It cannot get to where we need it to go in any shape or form.
Where would you need it to go?
On the other side of.
Oh,
Other side
no.
of Cerna.
He said that in response to the fact that the meeting was going to take place at sea. Between the ships in
Oh,
the Bay
okay.
of Care Westfall.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even. They're ships. That's just having a new. That's fine. That's less of an issue than getting places. I misunderstood what we were going for there.
Yeah.
Do the druids wish to have... Eken kind of turns and says loudly enough for the druids who aren't part of this conversation right now. Do the druids wish to have representation in this meeting of monarchs?
Graffy comes over. If you think it would be necessary.
Only
was
as
kinda hoping
necessary
that-
as you would like.
I was kind of hoping that when somebody sensible took over the island, we would just return and mind our own business as we always had before. We don't need the permission of kings as long as they aren't going to hunt us down and shake us out. We're good for the land. That's what we're here for anyway.
That's fair. But
But if you think that we
we meet tomorrow, hopefully, to discuss how to tackle the issue of the giant walking green man.
Yeah, if it even is an issue. Everything you've described so far sounds like great news.
Probably not for the best. Gonna be honest.
I mean, I understand. Everything in moderation, but... He's only doing what we would do, and far faster. Granted, we wouldn't take the city down with it. That's a... highly unfortunate.
You also understand and value the, lives of. I don't want to
People,
say
yeah,
humans,
of course we do.
We also don't exactly know what this Titan wants.
Do we want to try and find out?
Can you message him?
The Titan!
Oh,
That wasn't what I had
Yes,
in
that
mind.
was a jump.
Sending to
That
Sue.
escalated very
No,
quickly.
no.
I
no,
mean, Maybe, actually. Do you want me to
that
try?
was.
I mean, honestly,
Oh, I was.
worst
Gonna-
case scenario, he just figures out where we are and comes and smishes us.
Are you going
Best
to talk
case
to Selena?
scenario, we
Yeah.
have common goals.
Belle, can I hold that holy symbol?
Of course.
Oh, we're actually going to just.
Do you want
Give-
to?
We're
Yes.
just going to give the giant Titan a call and just say, "Hey, what are you up to?"
The
No,
most
I'm-
reliable source of information that we have at this point.
I'm just.
Do you have any other sources for information on Cernanos that you can actively
I
Tribute
I mean,
to us.
kind of
I-
maybe, but I may have pissed him off.
No, you pissed off the Earl King.
Yes.
Different.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Earl King.
that's
What's
what
a
I said.
Titan?
I can
No, he
cast a
doesn't-
spell.
Want to type?
I'm not sure how much use it'll be, but I can give it a try.
Can you tell us the name of the spell before you do it?
And it goes by many names.
That's
I get
cryptic.
one? Maybe
Can you
two?
just give us one?
Well, most wizards and scholars that alike would call it the commune with nature spell.
Graffy's Natural Communion. Got it.
I suppose one could call it that, yeah.
I would
Either
love
that
any
or-
information that we could get.
Message or both.
Let's try
I'll call the Earl
Hazfest.
King too.
I was gonna do a different thing.
Okay, go ahead, Vale.
Oh no! Hers sounds better. Hers sounds like a better, like an actual thing, like an actual mechanical thing. I was gonna pray to Cernanos and see what you did with that. So
Can you commune? Do you commune?
I do have it prepared because I didn't know what we were doing today.
Contact other plane.
I don't have that prepared because that's not a spell that I get.
Do you think Salune would know
Or at the
what
higher
he's
level spell
up
then.
to?
Alright, Grappling. Go
So,
ahead and give it a go.
yeah, technically this spell only has an effect within 3 miles, but
If he's having as big of effect as he is having, I think it's actually greater than 3 miles.
that's what I'm hoping, that we're gonna get some ripple this far out. She sits down. She opens one eye. Well, it's gonna take a minute. So don't all stand there looking at me.
Iken gets closer and stares more intensely.
I think she has performance anxiety.
Hey, Mr. Earl King. I know I was a little rude, but are you in there, bud?
No response from the Earl King.
What if I told you I know about an artifact that might be able to help, and maybe you could help me find it, and then I do whatever you want afterwards, but I could maybe use it to put him away?
Is this the dial?
Tap it on there. Tap it on the glass.
Yeah, it's like Morse code. Beep, 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 beep.
Vale points out that it's the other eye that the raven came out of, actually.
Oh, right.
Right, the right eye.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, a minute passes and Graphy casts Commune with Nature. Going in tune with the natural biome, or what is left of it around here. The kind of new sprouts and stuff coming up in this forested area. And immediately she gasps. It's incredible. I mean, terrifying. I don't know if I've ever felt so much power all at once. It's a feckin' Genesis. I'm just overwhelmed. Even from here, even the echoes across the roots and through the earth from here. Just burgeoning with life, wildness. But we wanted to know what it wants. I only get one thing from it. Survival. It feels like an incarnation of wilderness, of instinct. That's all I've got. Sorry.
But the trees don't seem malicious.
Trees are never malicious. Some of my best friends are trees.
Okay.
I'm
Some of my best
distinctly
friends are
attacked
people,
by
and people can be terrible.
trees.
I was about to say some of my best friends are malicious.
That's not inaccurate.
I resemble that remark.
Yep.
So, survival, like, is he in danger? I don't see any predator that's going to come after a Titan.
Well, he did just break out of jail. That he was probably put in unwillingly.
Fair.
Additionally, Erliza fucked this land up. And he saw that immediately.
So maybe he's just trying to bring Snowdown back from
Well,
being destroyed, and then he'll go home, and then everything will be great. See?
call
Solves
me a
the problem.
pessimist, but I'm willing to bet that he may have seen that, now sees all of us people as a plague and plans to exterminate all of us.
I feel like
But
we're
he
really
lent her
into-
power. She was a paladin to him.
Wait,
Yes.
you're right. But there's something else I noticed and I didn't even think about it until... You're right, Erliza ruined this land. But there were creatures. Amongst the trees. Deer and boar and bears and birds.
Beers and balls and beds and beds.
Aye. And badgers, even.
What's your point?
That's a
Well,
bunch of beasts.
There weren't. I can barely count them all.
We already counted Bess. Oh, best yourself.
There were no creatures before on Snowdown, or very few. They seem to be gathered around Cair Westfall.
And that's why I said we probably didn't want to be in the forest.
So,
Are you implying that the little spirits are all the dead things that the forest has consumed?
Oh, I didn't imply that at all. Is that what you're implying?
I think that's the implication that your platitudes
Don't be
have
putting
made me apply.
implications in my mouth.
This is getting...
I would like to propose a solid plan forward. It seems now we're just sitting here making conjecture. Actionable things that we can do are attend the meeting that is taking place tomorrow. We'll take Esfel's lead on that, and following which, we should see about, perhaps, depending on how the meeting goes, acquiring a ship for ourselves, or at least passage to the island, where we can see if we can retrieve the bow before going to Candlekeep to actually speak with some learned folks that might actually have more information to this.
I love it when you plan things.
Now, it
Wait.
could be the case, and we must expect, and we must realize the fact that definitely things could happen here on Snowdown while we're gone, and we'll have to reckon with that. But we're not going to be able to do anything as we are right now. We've barely been able to feed Eliza, a paladin of a Titan. Now we're trying to reason and figure out what it is and its motives. It's probably far beyond us.
We can
Maybe
knock this bow thing out in an afternoon, though.
We can't get back.
you seem certain of that.
Oh, you can cast that spell where we all become clowns, right? We have
And
8
so-
hours.
Coming with us
Hope is not coming with us.
Well, I suppose he doesn't have to come with us, does he?
to get us back, he would.
I assume Graffi is also very capable if she would like to come, but I won't put words in anyone's mouth. I can only say what we can do. If it is the case that we're able to make it to that island, I say we go ahead and do it now while we have this day.
You want
If
to do
it-
that before? I suppose we do have all day today and then most of the day tomorrow, but
We don't really have a lot of time considering
It's
that
the
dude's
morning.
We
fucking
don't have
shit
a
up.
we don't have a way there or back.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If, please pay attention to what I'm saying.
I hear you. I would love to do that. I'm just saying that we don't have a way to right now to do that. unless you've gained one in the past.
This is why my plan included getting a ship from the meeting after tomorrow. But if Graffi is able to get us there, or if Obe is coming along, we could possibly traverse it.
I'm
I
afraid
leave myself at the.
I cannot accompany you this time. I have too much to deal with here with my family, and
Of course.
helping them to escape Snowdown.
Yes, you all need to leave. Although I do believe, Graffi, you should come with us to the meeting of the monarchs.
As a representation
Well,
of
how
the
the hell am I
druids.
gonna get home?
You're
Aren't you
capable,
able-
woman.
Aren't you able to, like, fly?
Well, sure.
Alright. It's settled then. You at least accompany us there.
Oh, that wind thing.
Yes.
How long does it last?
8 hours.
Okay.
By our previous calculations, you could fly to the island of Moray, where the bow is supposed to be, in 7 hours with the windwalk spell. I will be planning on creating a tree portal for me and my family to go to the Druid's Grove at King's Bay on the island of Gwynedd. We have been there before. There's a druid presence there. It is off of Snowdown. I have to get my family away.
Okay.
I do not want to get too far away before knowing how this resolves itself, though.
Graffi, can you do the tree portal thing?
I'm afraid not, Matt. That's a bit beyond me.
Unfortunate.
Actually, having thought about it, I will probably use the 2 tree portals. One to take my family back to Port Nyanzaru, and one to return to Kings Bay, so that I can be here in case you guys need me.
You're going back to Port Nyanzaru.
I want to get my family as far away from this as possible. At that, Obe's mother puts her hand out and puts it on Obe's shoulder. Obe, I know that you feel an obligation to help these people, and I cannot thank them enough. But you are never leaving my side again.
Besides, you have a barter run, and I pull out the deed to the Black Cat Inn and hand it to Obe.
Whoa.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
Oh,
No, if he's
Lord.
going to
Yeah,
Port
yeah.
Nyanzaru, we might as well. Yes, we might as well have the
Yeah.
person in the party go run the
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
Don't act like we shouldn't.
Did you have the deed?
It's
on
in
you?
the bag of holding, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
Which we've said is nebulously in someone's possession that is usually mine, I think.
I just assume that Bell always has it, TBH.
I assume he can always has it.
I
So the
assume
bar-
Tor always has it.
Yeah.
If you want me to do this, it seems there are several things I have to reconcile. I still have to find this Ring of Autumn at some point. But my mother is right. I need to spend some time with my family. I am so sorry for leaving you. With
No,
this.
it's okay.
But you know where to find me if you need anything. I can cast this spell twice, despite the fact that apparently I am not going back to the Moonshine Islands. Is there anything in Port Nyanzaru that you need?
Now, I have a question, and feel free to shut it down.
Is it like this kind of question? Or are you on table?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Your club allows you to travel via plants, correct?
Yes.
If someone else were to be holding that club, could they do it as well?
No. It requires a druid. Attuned to
One
it.
like Graphy?
I'm not sure if it would have the same effect for Graphy. It did not always do this for me. It took a long time before it had that feature.
Just a thought. First things first, we need to get off this island.
I'm going to Chult.
You don't have to go through the portal.
No, I can send you all back here with my second casting of the spell today.
Well, even tomorrow. We could go
Sure.
see Kwasha, check in.
That is true.
What do we think about that?
So you're saying going to Cholt now and coming back tomorrow?
For the meeting, yes.
I don't think I've ever been to Cholt.
What? Didn't we meet you in Mesra?
Yes, you have.
We have? Yes, we have. I so have been. Yes,
we did
I
meet you
forgot.
in
Yes.
Mesro.
In
You were
Mesro.
drunk
Now-
the whole time.
To be
Yeah.
fair, you came to Mesro by way of the Astral Sea, so
Right. Oh, we went to Cholt. We went to Port Nanzaru via the airship. Got you. Okay. So, okay.
I'm along for the ride, but I don't particularly. I'm not particularly fond of the idea of leaving this situation, even if it's just for a day. Call me stupid or brash, but this is my home. Not Snowdown, but this is dangerously close to my home.
I would love to use this time to try and be productive, but it seems we've no way of traveling and getting back. If we can't at least make headway in fighting this beast, we may as well check on our home. Our home.
at this
And
time, I'm going to be accused of using this adjective way too much, but it's appropriate. A titanic roar can be heard, echoing across the land. You look up to the sky to see a strange sight on Snowdown. Flocks of birds fleeing. The sound reaches you just a little bit before the seismic rumble of the earth beneath your feet.
Iken's gonna fly up again.
Okay.
Just a minute this time.
Yeah, flying up, you can just see the figure in the distance. He looks like a toy soldier from here, 20 miles away. He is standing now, facing the ocean, hands out to his sides, just screaming at the sea. He takes one stomping step forward and kicks at the surf, as if to antagonize the ocean itself, and screams again. It has the distinct air of a battle challenge.
Huh? Huh? Do I see anything in the ocean?
Nope, not right now. It definitely, with the antlers it reminds you inexplicably of like $2, but it's just him. But $2 squaring up to do combat.
No. He goes back down. Would anyone here know, and please tell me this is crazy. Would anyone here know of why that thing might want to fight the ocean?
It's a Titan, and it could be challenging the powers that be, as in the gods, as there are gods of the ocean. At least that's where my head is at currently, because of the nature of my power set. I hope you understand.
What if there's another Titan? Would that be something?
I think that would be highly unusual.
Did we
feel
not
like
just
we're
have a
already
highly
there.
unusual day yesterday?
Yeah, but we had a reason that it happened at the very least. Just that there happened to
Yeah.
be another one that we didn't know about.
Don't know.
I'm worried that
Tor
the
will become
island.
a battleground for Titans.
Well, yes,
That's where I'm at.
because the island that Ravarakis came back on, what if a Titan came with that and has been in the ocean this whole time?
Honestly, I just feel like we're talking about a lot of what ifs.
Yes, a lot of hypotheticals. We need to go, but we don't know where to go. We have no feasible way to do what we want to do right now.
It's true. I submitted my plan, but I
Remind me what that was again.
Just to wait until tomorrow, have a parley with the leaders, see whatever that comes about, and see about requesting a ship or some
But
sort of
wait.
travel.
Where? We can't stay here.
I told you. Initially, we would use the boat to go to, if we got one. It's all contingent.
What do we do
To go-
until then? Is the question he's asking. Not after that. Where do we wait?
We
safely?
cannot stay on Snowdown.
Why
Well,
don't
if
we
that's
just
the
go
only
on?
issue that exists, Obe has given us a solution. But my own personal feelings are standing in the way, but I'll put them aside. But
As I said, I have 2 castings of this spell. If you would rather me take you to the Druid's Grove at King's Bay, Alex, AJ, that would be right here. If you'd rather me take you to the Druid's Grove at King's Bay and then take my family to Jolt after that, it is no additional cost to me.
Why don't we just go to Jolt now and then come back tomorrow for the meeting with the big dudes, big people?
can you?
I am fine with that.
You guys can check on your friend Quay, whatever you called him.
Wait, that's it.
I highly suggest you
And
call him that too. Maybe
You
meet him.
can, you can get Obe's family settled down at whatever bar or dive or place of alcohol.
Oh, you would love it, Alucard.
Oh,
The
not
drinks
for the
are free.
not for the next 9 days. I won't enjoy it at all. It's a terrible thing. Anyway, so we just go there.
Wait, what do you mean?
And then we come back tomorrow. What do you mean? What do I mean?
I thought I was
Is
pretty
this
clear.
like a personal thing?
Yes, I'm trying to wean myself off alcohol for the next 9 days, just to
Think-
see if I can.
I think
Insight
weaning
check.
is
Inside check.
more of a gradual thing.
Dorn Greycastle.
Natural 10.
Boo. Oh, Vale.
Oh, Vale.
Alucard. Everybody is popping off right now.
That's
Well,
That's Alucard's
that's-
deception
rolled
check.
on insight.
That sets the
I-
DC.
That's good. That's good for me. And
Yep. All right. Vale. Only you see past the silver forked tongue of Alucard Eversoul.
there's clearly some other reason that he will not be enjoying alcohol in the next 9 days.
Yes. Speaking of which, Jerry, if you would please make that check for me. That
Uh
we discussed in private, very secretively.
Okay. Wait. Okay. All right.
This episode brought to you by Friendship. Friendship, powering this campaign for 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
So Sid, I'm going to use the thing.
Yep.
Okay.
That time
Oh!
I didn't even know what he meant.
I did not do what I was supposed to do, but okay. Sorry.
Okay, that's a success.
So we're going to.
Describe what sort of mild visual, audio, somatic tells there are to you doing that thing that you do.
Oh, so
Oh, that
Are there
thing you
all
do.
of those things? Because that's a lot of
Probably-
descriptors.
probably while we're having this conversation, Alucard like just goes silent momentarily, and he's like blinking very quickly, and his eyes go through like a go through like several like almost kaleidoscope colors real like very quickly, like as if he just got dazed or something for a second, and then he comes to and like okay, so we're going now, right?
Sure. Going to Port Nyanzuru.
Yes, let's be on our way.
Obe, for selfish reasons, can you put me at Kings Bay? And then somebody come pick me up. Is that in the cards?
If I send you to King's Bay, which I am happy to do, my friend, and then I cast another casting of the spell to take us all to Port Nyanzuru. Tomorrow, when I send all of them back, I will not come with them. And therefore, you would have to find your own way to the bay at Care Westfall.
Okay.
Wait,
I don't have
wait.
a way. I'll go with you.
Boat can't go that fast though.
Hmm.
We couldn't get there by the afternoon if we.
I don't think so. 9 miles an hour at
6.
6 miles an hour. Oh, I would need a token in order to be able to measure and drag at the same time. Why did I get rid of the party token? Why did I do that? It's okay. I'll have this token. That's massive. Why are you so big? Yep. Token. Appearance. How do I change its size? Ah, I have it set to be a water vehicle. Why is that true? This is the arcane eye. That should be right. Ish. Yeah. Scale is right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was playing with it. I wasn't judging it. I was just.
Okay, anyway. From here. No, I need this. Okay, if you're here, you do here to here to here to here. That's 80 miles. So yeah, at 6 miles an hour, what, 13 hours of
Yeah,
24?
I mean, that's doable.
You'd have to basically get there and then get on the boat and start.
Yeah.
Tour. For what it is worth, Port Nyanzaru is a fascinating place full of interesting cultures and people. I'm sure you will find something entertaining to do there.
It's not necessarily about lack of entertainment. I love new places. It's great. I love adventuring and traveling. I'm scared for my home.
What are you gonna do in Kings Bay?
At least watch,
And
see what goes on.
how is that gonna help you?
It's not.
Either the Titan will be contained to Snowdown, and you don't need to worry about your home, or it will not be contained, and you will not be safe at Kings Bay.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand what you're going through, and I apologize. I don't have a connection to a home like this, but I don't know. I understand kind of that you don't want to see it get destroyed, but I don't know.
It's more of, if it does get destroyed, I don't want to be away when it does. Don't want to be somewhere else.
The Arcane Eye is unconscious. All right.
So,
Yeah.
wait, here's a question. Are the rest of the druids staying here?
Oh hell no! No, they're planning on going back to God, going back to Alaron. Our native grove is at Rushdown Wood.
Okay. I guess one of your herons couldn't get him back here, could they?
I'd be going in
Someone
the
would
opposite
still have to
direction.
be.
Say again?
It would mean for somebody to still has to be with him there to do that. Although,
No, I was just saying if he would, like, the other druids are going to Alaron, but they're not gonna get to Alaron today, back there tonight.
Oh no, no, we'll have to make our way overland. We'll probably make it to the Cape past Malfeirgrol by tonight, if we're lucky, and then we'll have to caravan across. Some of us can become large aquatic creatures, and we'll ferry the others between the small archipelago between here and Alaron.
So, if Tor doesn't want to go to Cholt, why does he not just travel with the druids until tonight, stay with them tonight, and then someone could just send him be a creature with a creature tomorrow?
which one of us is gonna send him with a creature to get him?
Graffy can send him whack conjuring an animal. That's how she got all of y'all. She got you guys out of.
Splitting
I will
us up
go-
across the.
I will go
Oh,
with you. It's
I-
fine.
I agree. Tor, you're an asshat and an ally. I understand your concern, but I don't want you far from us. You don't have other allies here, any more than we do.
And you said before. Let me back up with this at least. That your patron couldn't come here. So taking you away, maybe you can get more access, more ability to question him. Maybe we have more access there.
He could talk to me all he wants. He's very upset with me. He's not in the understanding mood. He's not the understanding type. All he knows is it's been set out, and it was because I was there, and something I did caused it, even if it was indirect. He doesn't blame me, otherwise he would kill me the second he could.
Well, he can't, though. But he
Sure.
could if you were in Chult.
Yes, but that's what I mean. I don't think that he's not stupid. He's mad, but he's not stupid. He doesn't want to be understanding, but that doesn't mean he.
Doesn't understand.
Yes.
So we're all going to Cholt then.
Oh, pulls out the Druidic Throwing Club. Don't get me wrong, I am usually one to take my time and make sure we are making the right decision. But it is exhausting watching you all talk in circles.
Oh, I thought I was the only one.
He throws the boomerang, and beneath the shadow of it, thorns erupt from the earth, forming a perfect circle, like a fairy fungus circle, but made out of thorns. And within, a shining portal appears. He ushers his family through the portcullis. As
I might walk through.
the party accompanies him. And you know what? I absolutely no longer have a map of Port Nyanzaru in this version of the campaign. But I will by the time we pick up this episode next week on the 11th Ornament.
Whew. We have a plan. Kind of.
I think.
I'd be willing to say a plan exists.
Is that what we're calling it?
For now.
Sure.
All right, as the party
No less terrified.
returns to the jungle port of Nyanzaru. It's spelled differently on this map than it is in the book. Or I've been saying it wrong for 5 years. Either is entirely possible. As you all appear out of a large, fat banyan tree on the hillside past the city, you pull yourself out of the bark and you're on the cliff looking down at Malar's throat, looking out on the hot, humid morning as the sun is beginning to cut away the mist off of the sea, and the people of Port Nyanzaru are beginning to awaken and start their days. You can already hear the tussle and bustle of the markets beginning to start up. You can hear behind you in the distance the sound of tropical birds and dinosaurs roaring in the jungles. And quickly, before you know it, most of you have 1d4 mosquito bites the minute you walk out of the portal into Chult. And that's what we're going to pick up next session. Thank you all so much for joining.
Thanks, everybody.
Anyone have any wrap-up questions before we close?
Can I use a application of insect repellent?
Do you still have insect repellent in your bag?
Yeah, on my sheet.
Yes, you absolutely may.
I have a whole, like, it has you gave like resources, and that was one that I'd put on there somewhere, so it popped up and it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is Eric staying with the druids?
Eric is staying with Obe.
Okay, so Eric is going to
Eric
the
is-
Black Cat Inn.
Seems that way.
I'm here for it.
And we'll start the next session in Port Nyanzaru. Like I said, with you guys doing what you need to do back in something like civilization.
I wonder if Janet left.
Trying to wrap up some of those plot strings that got left when we went to go save Obe's family in something of a hurry.
Well, she was supposed to be going there.
It's true. All right. With all that, we'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Night.